Yeah, you know what it is. 140 for the rebel, busy man shit, nigga. They take their head over, nigga.
I bet where Eve did to Adam, I just pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like Samson, I can't let no holder lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying, this shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Circle up and stay alert, another cop can stretch the nigga. He ain't demon, this an exorcism, watch I bless the nigga. You took that open blood, then you know I'm gon' get active with you. From the opposition, I see vision, let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spin, I ain't listening, is effective. If revenge was a woman, now I stroke that bitch like Jacob. So I war, we gon' run the summer, it's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't do that, bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it young baby. How you real triggering on them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? What he saying something, I ain't hear him. This shit like it ain't on who got the gun, it's on who gon' up that fight first. I turn a bad situation to a game change. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chains. Bring shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand that feeds you, you'll never get that hand back. He bitching about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody wanna be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, he's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. A certified woman's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, out with that hollow son, yeah, this the real McCoy. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still up on my bread, still I think that's all that I do. The way I get it, boy, lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his game, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So then you said that they put millions of my people. Yes, you said, sir.
Should a murderer go to jail for murdering?
Absolutely.
Should a thief go to jail when he steals?
Absolutely.
Should a robber pay back the money he robbed?
Absolutely.
So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did?
That's right.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacles set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never our home. Only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe the slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting. The trail of my tears is countless. The fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles will make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be. Slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cages, safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash. Get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog.
no remorse in my blood slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember YAHANNA's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in his body, you fit the Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is served cold, I just hope they make an oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in a world of mad shooters. There was design fire for our babies to pass through it. And the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog.
It's a dog.
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 On the highway. One thing I got in this lifestyle, that's my balls, bitch, and my wordplay. Hey, when I get mad, turn the Scarface. How when I get mad, turn the Sharface. Yeah. Fuck. Tell me how it is, tell me how you feel, tell me what it is, tell me what you wanna do. Put sad boy plotting on who? I done seen it all before I came through. Must don't understand, nigga, I'm in the truth, plain mad nigga. But these crackers tryna shoot shit my way. 100 down rides on the highway. Only thing I got in this lifestyle, that's my balls, bitch, and my wordplay. Hey, when I get mad, turn the Scarface. Now when I get mad, turn the Sharface. Yeah, I'm up in South Beach with this shit, nigga, Miami. Fuck on me. Tell me how it is, tell me how you feel, tell me what it is. I'm always in the field, always dressed to kill, nigga. What the fuck you talking about? But your pussy boy, you ain't talking about nothing, but you ain't making noise. You ain't on that shit that you thought you was. Who the fuck these niggas thought they was? They don't even know that. Shooting at me and I'm a throwback. I don't look back, that's a throwback. No, I don't look sad, cause I'm on that. Boy, get shot at the top, that's a toe tag. Lame man, cracker don't want the guns on me. But these people wanna know everything. But the booze and the chica. I tell these soft ass boys how to think. But I'm on my grind like that, hey. Yeah, my nutsack on these fuck niggas when I don't give a fuck. What they be hating on, cause I'm up, nigga. What the fuck, nigga? Who the fuck these niggas thought they was? Yeah, all the time a nigga growing. All the time a nigga knowing. Gotta stack it up, keep that bitch flowing. Hey, hey. Tell me how it is, tell me how you feel, tell me what it is. Gotta flip the deal, gotta keep the steel, kill a big kid. Nah, nigga, for real, I'm ready for the real. Nigga, ready for the war, nigga. But they crackers tryna shoot shit my way. 100 down rounds on the highway. Only thing I got in this life is style. That's my balls, bitch, and my wordplay. Hey, when I get mad, turn the Scarface. Now when I get mad, turn the Scarface. They up here with the scene, nigga, with the Colombians, cutting niggas' heads off and shit. Tell me how it is, tell me how you feel. Always just a kid, shoot 'em up the hill. Gotta keep it still, nah, nigga, for real. Heady boy, that they talking about. Why X out your rank, walking on your sand. On the highway, chasing out the bands. Boy, wanna hate, they don't understand. Boy, wanna hate, soft two cans. Sam, man, nigga. I told you for that nigga don't know it. Yeah, chasing out the one, I love that shit. Cause the thrill of the hunt keep me on my shit. Yeah, the deck on my hip with a stand-up clip. Yeah, motherfucker, we'll kill your ass. We'll motherfucking. On the highway. One thing I got in this lifestyle, that's my balls, bitch, and my wordplay. Hey, when I get mad, turn the Scarface. How when I get mad, turn the Sharface. Yeah, fuck, talking about that.
Clap it up.
Shalom. Yabashim Yashai Brakatah. Oh, you're low.
You say it sound low?
Go on again with me here.
Probably I chew the mic now.
No, talk again. Let me say if I feel volume low.
Yeah, I think my thing low still enough because I listened back a playback class yesterday and play.
Yeah, when you come closer to your mic, it sound. You're supposed to can sit back and sound alright. Right. Can't get away from them bike, can you, man? I don't know change location. Hey, Yahweh Shai Brakatah to the brothers, Yahweh Shama Alatan Basham Yahweh to the sisters. Welcome to ISUPK Jamaica Scripture Breakdown class. This evening we're talking about now. Yeah, the MEADS should say who are the true Israelites. What do you mean by that now? You see this war we have in Iran? Yeah, there's a media person there now, right at Iran this one. Hasn't changed. Hey, media Persia, how that civilization in the land there, about how much years? Sound look better. But I don't know if we're going to lean back if it will go drop. And carry on.
Hold on, I check my work it out, sir.
The civilization, the Persian civilization in the land there, in the Iranian land. About how much years old, you know?
Probably about 3,000 years, 3,000 years old. Going. Mic check.
Well,
Yeah, you hear me better?
Can. But I put you more than 3,000, you know. 2,000 years, Jerusalem fell in 70 AD.
Okay.
The Persian captivity was at least probably about 600 years before Jerusalem fell. And Persia was around before the captivity, before them take us. Well, them never come in Jerusalem and take us captive still, you know. Them take over Babylon.
Lucky, sir. This roughly 2,500.
Roughly?
Yeah, got one.
I'm 125, but I put them 125. The Grecian captivity before Christ, approximately 300 years, you know. Well, if they say roughly still, then shave off probably about 100 or 200 years. But the point is, that is where the Medes and the Persians were, the Media Persia. And according to the scripture, them are one set of people them with the Most High go stir up against Babylon. Again.
Right.
Yeah. So, you know, this war that we see over there, it cool off. Well, I don't know if we can say it cool off still, you know, but they're not really throwing blows now. Hey, you can imagine you have some enemies and you run go get a big bad friend and then you jump on the enemy and the big bad friend run out a bullet. Can you imagine? You know, you're a big bad man and you have much guns and what I call it, you know, missiles. And you run out of ammunition. You know, run out of bullet, you know, but if you use the bullet, you have to come close. You don't have the missile to maintain your close proximity. So, you know, kind of just embarrass yourself. But that's the way the Most High want it. Didn't the Most High say I'm going to lift up Babylon's skirt and expose him? But, you know, Kairon, I've been thinking about since the other day when I yesterday them run out of bullet. What is the American thing there again. Military expenditure. And them have the highest military expenditure in the world, you know. Close to $1 trillion. As a matter of fact, since Trump come in, it gone over $1 trillion for this year. But let's say me not count this year, count the years and before this year, because since February it start go up. You see any figure come up?
Yeah, so like I'd say the United States military expenditure is approximately 916 billion to $1 trillion annually.
Right. Next year when you do the search, you'll see over $1 trillion.
Okay.
How you can be spending so much money on your military? So many broken down services within the military, plus you run out of ammunition. That is corruption, you know.
Okay.
That is corruption. Because there's no way you should be spending so much money. I mean, is the Iranian army in the top 10 or top 20? Even though before World War II, America was rated 19th in the world still. And by World War II done, and after and jumped to #1 after the atomic bomb.
So like here, the Iranian army is ranked number 16 out of 145 countries.
We done at 16.
Okay.
And they managed to take some blows, and I tell us them show some good blows to the surprise of everybody. And they surprised Iran, surprised Russia, and then surprised China, and then surprised every military in the world. It surprised even the Iranian citizens.
Okay, yeah.
Which show you say the Bible reigns supreme, the Most High words reign supreme.
Right.
Yeah, give me what I'm saying, must stir up the MEADS and the Persians. Let me see if I want to start this.
Isaiah 13 and verse 17.
Oh. No, a minute. Let's see if I want to start with that.
Okay.
Isaiah, yeah, we can start with that.
Okay. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 17. Behold, I will stir up the MEADS against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it.
Right. You see much money them offer Iran to back off. Tell them say, you know,
Okay.
they can free up in asset and all kind of something. But Iran now back off. Iran, their first strike on them the other day in Jordan. Right? So that shows you now, if you watch what's happening, how things are unfolding, you can see that the Most High word reigns supreme. Now, that's not to say that the Iranians are going to win them outright, you know. Because the victory over Babylon belongs to Christ. We know that. That is in Revelation. But him don't tell us he must steer them up against them. And they shall not regard silver or gold or something. Now why we want to see a next country really stir up against Babylon? Babylon has had us in its midst for over 400 years now. And I mean, when you look at our people, all our strong men, most of our strong men have, you know, quote are, you know, them most of them like in the States out here, from them, especially the ones coming up in the system out here, but you know, in America, the bigger one, them in our system over there for quite a while now, they have to behave in effeminate just to move forward, just so that they can feed themselves and if they have a family. You know, just to achieve certain things, you have to behave, if you're a man, you have to behave like a woman. So the spirit again that is on Babylon is not in our favor. So when we see the Most High stir up a nation against them, yeah man, trade them on.
Okay.
And we're going to jump in on one of them some of the things them that they have done against us, right? And according to their own FBI files, they really do some really unnecessary, commit some real unnecessary atrocities against black people. I mean, in the West, because whatever they do to the blacks in America, it's copied within the Caribbean. I'm not going to share, I suppose you can share the page. Oh, we can finish this today. Can you see?
Yeah, can.
Alright.
Can. This says counterintelligence program, black nationalists.
Pause. You know, we want to ask our viewers to do. I have to put it on the thing. We have to start doing now, we have to start ask our viewers to, you know, go on the subscribe button below ISUPK Jamaica. If they have already subscribed, just unsubscribe and then resubscribe.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's like the algorithm. I drop the videos now, after a while, that it's like you don't get the videos live. Sometimes it don't reach you. That's how the algorithm. That's how they say the algorithm work. You know, if it's well, me hear other podcasters say the same thing. So sometimes, but them in the same thing to where YouTube and the system move against their podcast. So we don't know. But anyway, them said that kind of work. Unsubscribe and resubscribe.
Okay.
And that kind of boost up the touch back the algorithm onto this page. Because we have a good amount of subscribers, you know, see why you can't push. Can push. It can. Alright, so let's go again.
Okay. This says counterintelligence program, black nationalists, hate group, racial intelligence, Washington Spring Project. It's a real Bureau Airtel to Atlanta, the 14th of March 1968. Baltimore's suggestion of utilizing a cartoon to depict the apparent alliance between SCLC and the Nation of Islam has, as the Bureau noted, definite merit. However, Atlanta is of the opinion the Bureau's suggestion of a pertinent newspaper article is more appropriate under the circumstances and might lend itself to wider circulation than a cartoon. The impact on King of printed matter is apt to be greater than material presented in a cartoon, no matter how skillfully it may be presented.
All right, so this king, you know, was Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King.
Yes.
Go on, go on.
So, but I wonder if them did know that the FBI was on their backs. I wonder, maybe they knew, maybe not, because how the FBI was moving then, they were working through the police. So they get the impression that they were being over-policed, but it was really the FBI that was behind the police force, giving the police force the information as to what they want to achieve. Say, all right, here what, this and this is going to happen in this area. We want the police them to go out, pay attention to XYZ persons. I want you to bring them in and I go question them and I go this and I go that. So men in those days, they didn't have the slightest idea that the FBI was really on them like that. They probably think if police them give them trouble. Like when I was younger, you used to hear police not like black man.
Oh God.
Yeah, because you were, you're walking on the road certain hours at night, police are pass you, then just pass and leave, They must stop your question, your search you and all them things. Who knows? Probably it was in the same time when they were doing the things them in America. That's why I tell you, whatever you see happen over there, it just radiates throughout the Caribbean. It becomes a part of their, what you call, foreign policy. Yeah, man. I was see them same. It's not all that bad, but there was a time when it was over policing was terrible in Jamaica, man. Especially in the inner city communities, the poorer communities. Up in the rich community, them patrolling here days, because if you were walking in these community, even though sometimes are the same people who are living there, look out them window and see a man walk, call the police and say, see a man on the street there now, why you can check him out? You understand? Sometimes they drive through, take a look on the man, profile him, then feel to search him, then search him. But in the inner city communities, a lot of time people gather. Cause in I get a man just sit down and play domino in a spot and them with it. Right? True or false?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And this is a trend from way back in the days. Right, 70s, 80s, probably earlier than that too. Coming up into the 90s. A man will sit down and play domino or have the little gathering and police draw down. Everybody have to do, and everybody does do so. And scatter. They don't do nothing, But just the fear out of just the fear of the police being around, they don't know what can happen. And guess what? They ain't sticking around to find out. So now that always say it in Jamaica, they take with themselves.
God.
Yeah. And it was the same thing when you look at it, mirroring the same time period, you see where it's now coming from. Because the same thing was happening in America. Right? And then after a while you see it radiate throughout the West where you have, anywhere you have black majority population. All because I want it. Trying to prevent the rise of a black messiah. When the black messiah come in and go born in look for a messiah born in a manger again. Nah, man. The messiah won't be coming from a manger this time. You don't need to be treating black people like that, searching for them black messiah. It's just them and them homosexual. Because what became of the men, our black men, after this mass over policing that carried out, that was pushed by the FBI during the 60s, 70s, and in Jamaica here up to the 80s. What come out of it? The effeminate behavior, or what would be the proper word? The emasculation of our black men. That's what came out of it. Right? I remember in the 90s, I think, I think it was a United Nations push to have the universities increase their intake of female students. Nothing is wrong with that. But what happened while they were increasing the female student intake, they were decreasing the male intake in the schools, in these tertiary institutions. So you must say now, black women is among the highest, in the highest class of people with tertiary education. Like in the States, probably out here too. Right. What they did was they marginalized the male. And when you read them things that they were doing in the black communities right across the West, you see where it really come from, where it came from. So, in other words, they deliberate, and as a matter of fact, in the 90s when they did that in the UN, you know what they did? They lower the pass mark for the courses. And you have a lot of our local businesses and things who, would have used university graduate and things. They also say, but half-baked people, them are push out. Meaning, if the pass mark was 50, they're dropping out to what, 40, 35, 40, somewhere there about. Just so you could get, you could push out the female with tertiary thing there. And indeed, the standard of our educated people out there in the world has fallen. But these men who they were pushing against here, they were educated men, Yes, Stokely Carmichael, remember, he was a Trinidadian who went to the States to study. The other one, Elijah Muhammad, Martin Luther King. These were the educated class. They came up through the universities and the tertiary colleges and things in America. And then coming down after that, you see them start marginalize black male in the tertiary institution, and you're gonna think that it is by chance. Come on, use your head. If you think it was by chance, then you should use just like our Prime Minister who said that he is not a revolutionist. Right? Which is really a big indictment on him. Because when you look at Jamaica history, there is nothing that we gain that, improve black civil rights in Jamaica that was not fought for. When you look in the work world, women, you know that in Jamaica here, you working beside a woman in any work environment, you and I are doing the same work. You, as the male, you used to get more money than she. Did you know that?
La, I never know that.
That is where we're coming from.
Okay.
And we did not achieve women getting equal. As a matter of fact, I don't even think America achieved that as yet. On a wide scale. Where a woman working, doing the same job as a man, getting the same pay. They used to pay women less just because they are women. Women couldn't vote just because they are women.
Okay.
Yeah. Women couldn't lead just because they are women. We did not achieve these things by being passive. Right? We achieved these things because who was leading at the time decided to put on the hat of a revolutionist. And we are in August now. We just celebrate Independence Day and we just celebrate Emancipation Day. None out of those two holidays didn't come about by being passive.
Right.
Enough people dead for we if we get 1st of August as a holiday. Well, we weren't seeking to get a holiday. It's called Emancipation Day, meaning the end of slavery. A lot of people also got, I don't know what there was a death toll or anything like that for we forget if there was much to become independent, but there still was, fighting as in, you go and you battle out things. Not necessarily physically, because independence really sign away. And as a matter of fact, when them stay abroad and sign and say, okay, we grant so and so to these people, then just give it because they see what's coming and what is happening. Because prior to independence, what used to happen? If you go back in our history and you check, you see a whole lot of workers' riots in Jamaica before independence. And you check all the colonial laws. The colonial laws was not far from being slavery. As a matter of fact, I think it was before independence too. Maybe it was still happening after independence, where you used to have a thing, your punishment would then call lash in and lash out, meaning lashes. You could have been sentenced by a judge, you commit a crime and you could have been sentenced by a judge with lashes, just like how you whip slaves.
Okay, come.
Yeah, man, it's not, research them things, it's not very long ago since them things that leave the Jamaica court system. That did not come by being passive, right? So being a revolutionist don't mean that you're going to take up guns. Christ was a revolutionist, he never took up a sword. A passive person cannot lead black people. That is the bottom line.
That's right.
You know what's going to happen if that happens? If you put a passive person as a black person to lead over you, you're going right back in slavery. Look what is happening in the States, especially down south, I think. Them change up one whole county the other day just so that, blacks, like they split the black vote. Send some of them go vote on this side and some go vote on this side. So you dilute that vote. So now you have less or no blacks representing that community, that area. Just by the stroke of a pen, you drive a dividing line through the voter population. So if you don't have persons who go and stand up for that, to go against that now, what do you think will happen? Ku Klux Klan in the States, they didn't come up, they didn't lose their power by black people being passive. Right? So when we have a leader in Jamaica who say I mean, even if it is the opposition, and him say him no revolutionist, you better open your eyes wide. If you hear it come,
fall in line.
if you hear it come from the opposition, open your eyes. If you hear it come from the party in power, open your eyes. Both parties better be revolutionist. The Caribbean region is like a big lake to America. You know, like when you have a lake in your backyard. That is how the Caribbean region is to America. You know? A big lake. It's their lake. You're not supposed to have nothing over here, so. Everything we're making in China used to make over this side, that's it. Right? And then more by inventions and things where manufacturing and things where you see China making. I see in Western people and go over there and things there, you know. Teach them, you know.
Go on.
The problem are well, it's a problem to we, but it's a plus to the Chinese to be a very good copy taker. How you think them rise to become the #1 producer in the electric vehicle? Who teach them about electric vehicle? Elon must go over there, go set up mega factory. You could have set it up in the West. You're going to China because you want to pay less for your labor. So who you train to be those factory operators? See them Chinese. You use a Chinese technician, Chinese workers and things. And what you think them do? Copy it and go open. And China take away the engineers, the automobile engineers from the West. The top automobile engineers in the West. Pay them at least 3 and 4 times what they are getting over here. Bring them into China. That's how BYD. A BYD and where the other one name? Number one of them.
Yeah, can. You have BYD, you have a popular one here in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Name again? Make a lot of SUVs and things. A lot of them.
The combustion engine, the Chinese couldn't master that. Who don't master the combustion engine? That is the engine that uses the gas and the fuel. They use fuel.
Think the
Germans. Pistons. The Germans used to master that. And the Americans.
Okay.
China couldn't get a foothold in that. And what China do? Say, all right, we can build a car and wipe out the whole of that. Battery. BYD. And then, because they are sitting on a mountain of cash, they dump the money to the vehicle and sell it to the auto manufacturers and sell so that they can retail the cars much cheaper than what it costs them to produce. You want to know the real meaning of economic warfare? Study that one day. Study that one.
You have Aval, you have Jetour, you have GWM, and then they are just some of the ones that were in Jamaica.
Yeah, Jetour out here.
Yeah.
Officer Ayazam, Shalom, Yabashim Shabrakata.
Shabrakata.
Right? So the Chinese, if you hear we or anybody in the West here talk about economic warfare, learn that one day. And back to what I was saying about the inventions of the Chinese. If you were able to see the storehouse of American patent and to see the amount of patents by black inventors, then don't even make no money off it, you know. But the invention out here making money and them dead gone poor and them family don't even know what go on. It look like our Chinese then give them inventions there. Then go over there Make the Chinese them build these things. But Chinese are 3 card man, that then another one there. They didn't know that part. But the Chinese is a 3 card man. You know, Trump finding that out, but guess what? They have them military, you can jump down their throat like how you jump down Iran. But they are going to knock fist one day. They have to. I mean, this motor vehicle that they are pushing in the West is a symbol of economic warfare. The Americans they know that, but what can they do? That's why the Americans then ban it. Well, they don't really ban it. They put a high tariff on it. But what the Americans are now doing is going into Mexico and buy it and drive it across the border. So it's still coming into America.
Okay.
But you know, most of the fleets, the trucking fleets and the car fleets and things, they can't buy it. Because the government put some tariff on it to make it not economically feasible for your business. And it is called economic warfare. This was a time Jamaica had a similar warfare that we fight with them countries. Wasn't well, it was big for us because we are a small nation, right? Like our industries will get shut down, our industries get closed, and this production shift to some country abroad. So you see the product out here still, but it don't make here. Goodyear tire was one of them. Goodyear used to make a St. Thomas. You still see Goodyear sell in Jamaica, but Goodyear don't make in Jamaica again. Right? And there are other products. Everything you used to do in Jamaica here one time, you know. Even the Milo, you know, used to make it, but it used to come out here in some big job. And you used to have the Milo factory and Vaseline factory and things. So them used to take them from them big 50-gallon drum and do the smaller packaging for retail out here. That not happen again. All the things, them, the products, household products and things that you used to use, they used to ship them in large lump sum quantities to Jamaica, and then they repackaged to retail quantity to sell within the Caribbean. So, you know, a lot of them, the products used to come from Jamaica and go into all the other Caribbean islands. Jamaica was like the central hub. And then bit by bit that slip away simply because the poor ask for more money. So why shouldn't the Most High move against Babylon? Babylon has moved against the Most High people from long time. They just feel that you should not be asking for more money. I could do some more reading. Because all these men, they were not in the truth, but all they wanted was a little better life for them people. How you reach again?
Second paragraph.
Did they finish the second paragraph?
Yeah, just so that started. Okay. On the 23rd of February 1966, King sat with Elijah Muhammad in the latter's residence in Chicago for the purpose of enlisting Muhammad's aid in fighting Chicago slum conditions.
Right, so look, hold on, stick up in, look at that. This is the FBI document, you know, and it is telling you why they were meeting. So they know why they were meeting. To look at what? Not the fact that Chicago want to become rich or build some army or something like that. The slum condition. Maybe white people don't know what is slum. Don't hear of the word. So unless the most I really put them to live in that kind of condition, they're not going to understand. To look at slum condition. All right, continue.
Gun. Atlanta's highly confidential sources at that time never developed any pertinent information describing King's reaction to our evaluation of this meeting. Chicago sources reported the meeting was not successful in developing any mutuality or cooperation, mainly because of the religious and philosophical difference between King and Mohammed. Redacted.
All right. So, well, them put that, but who knows? Maybe them see him undercover agent going there and undermine that. Right, and tell them, say, oh, I sit down and meet with them the Monday. I thought we don't have the same kind of religion as him. They were living in the same slums.
Gone.
Read on.
Gone. It is noted that during an SCLC retreat held in Atlanta in the middle of January 1968 regarding the WSP, King stressed that obtaining jobs or income for Negroes would represent a mere fraction of that which America owes.
King stressed that obtaining jobs or income for Negroes would represent a mere fraction of that which America owes. In our hacks, nothing free there, you know.
God.
Right? Martin Luther King have him ways where we in the truth here would have say him have him nasty ways. Right? But what was he seeking for the people? Right there it is. Jobs and income. Isn't it the same cry we're talking about today? People want work.
God.
But you see, with the oppressor, you know, when black people talk about work, him feel that the work that you should be doing is slavery. Him don't look on the other nations like that, you know. That will show you that Genesis is really we and them. The story with Esau and Jacob. Struggling from in the womb. Or I should say wrestling. Wrestling from within the womb. All right. Let me shift this and you read the next part. We finish this, all right?
Yeah, God.
Yeah, man. Jobs for Negroes.
God.
Can I say that?
Yeah. The Negro throughout its history, he declared America owes an incalculable sum to the Negro who throughout history, long years of involuntary servitude, labor to build this country. This language almost suggests some degree of adherence to teaching of Elijah Muhammad. It is suggested the proposed publicity might be slanted to convey the thought that the apparent alliance between SCLC and the Nation of Islam possibly grew out of the former meeting between King and Mohammed. that in connection with the WSC, SCLC is pushing the Nation of Islam in Baltimore. This, of course, would raise a question as to the sincerity of King's current statement that the WSP is to be based on non-violent techniques, because the position of the Nation of Islam towards the white man is basically one of annihilation. While King is currently seeking the cooperation of other organizations to assist with SCLC's WSP, he has shown no willingness to use SCLC to assist any other organization. In effort to finance the WSP, SCLC plans to seek financial contribution.
Hold on, stick up it. That I can't forget to say it me mute it. Alright.
Okay.
Back up to the verse now. It is suggested the proposed publicity might be slanted to convey the thought that the apparent alliance between SCLC and Nation of Islam possibly grew out of the former meeting between King and Mohammed. That in connection with the WSP again, which is the organization that?
Silakia, I don't know. WSP.
Right. It might come up again, but I wanted the black organization. And the SCLC, Southern Christian, or SCLC, Southern Christian, something like that. That was Martin Luther King organization. A church people, let me know.
Yeah.
Church people, let me know. Then you have the Nation of Islam, religious group that again, the WSP, I don't think it was a religious group, right? All right, the NOI in Baltimore. This, of course, would raise a question as to the sincerity of King's current statement that the WSP is to be based on non-violent techniques, because the position of the Nation of Islam towards the white man is basically one of annihilation. All right, annihilation for who? I don't think. They used to talk tough, you know. The black, well, that is what a revolutionists do. You talk and talk tough. But none of them never did have the means. What the means in our West of annihilate the black man? If we had the means, I don't think we'll be sitting and talking. They run out of ammunition, but we still can't test them. You see how well armed they are. Then go fight Iran. They run out of ammunition to fight Iran, and they run out of ammunition to give to Ukraine. We then always say so. We still can't fight them. As much as they run out of ammunition, we can't fight them. And this is the case now, and this was the case even back in the 60s. Their problem, and this is what our oppressors, speaking to the white class, this is what they have never looked on internally as to why am I this way? Why am I against these people this way and not against the other nations this way? Remember, I know, when America grant, what they call the birthright thing there again? Birthright citizenship?
Yeah.
When America grant birthright citizenship, it was the black ex-slaves they had in mind. They didn't have the Chinese in mind. They didn't have the Arabs. None of the other nation were seen there. They didn't have them in mind. But they put it and it because laws are normally colorblind. So you read it unless it states a nation or a race. It is generally talking about all mankind. Which is why, if you notice, our laws, it keep on in the majority of the books. It mentioned the 12 tribe of Israel. Or it tell about the prophet, which tribe him come from, and who he was talking to. Because generally, law would have been colorblind. And the colorblind of our laws is that whoever is within your borders must follow your laws, must live by your laws. When they say no business on the Sabbath, whether you are Chinese or whatever nation, you have to obey it, even though you were not an Israelite. Okay, birthright citizenship became the same as a similar thing in America. The other nations benefit from it. But they were not over-policed and marginalized and bamboozled the same way that they do to the blacks. They have an attitude of a robbery attitude towards you. How can I then go with the Chinaman and then, okay, we're doing business up front, but when it comes to us, they're always looking for a loophole and how they can rob we. No, they only take that approach when they're dealing with their enemies, which should raise an alarm bell in all of our people. And to say, maybe they do that to we because we are also their enemies. You understand? They know subconsciously, it's like them know say you are the enemy, you know. And I mean, why we can't see that? You see, all them people you see dying, like the Nolan Wells and whoever who go hang out with white people and get dead. These are people who buy into what them say integration, you know. These are people who bought into integration. Sometimes it comes from them grandparents who did have 2 shillings and go live amongst white people. So your children have no choice but to associate with white people because you live in a community. That community you got an all-white school. But guess what? They still remember that you are their enemy. That's why you have you end up with a Nolan Wells and others. These are people where young innocent people don't have a clue. And a lot of the female them who innocently go and go date a white guy because he was so tender towards them and all that. There was one where I read about, man, where the man Bill, he meet a young black girl and a date her. It come like say from the first day him start talk to her, him start plan how he can kill her. The man actually build one shed, you know, build upon a house, you know, like when have a piece of land somewhere. And go build a shed upon it with all the torches in it. And how he more cut her up. He plan it, you know. So much so that but I think them did. Well, there was 2. One, it's like they caught up with him. The girl died in a hotel room and they must leave her in there. They never charge him. I even charge him in gateway, but because they can't say, well, him. He planned to kill her. But when them search, huh?
Yeah, I thought the one where happened Indonesia. Them carrier guy Indonesia.
I didn't hear about that one.
Okay. So you have one where the white man carry, you know what I mean, in black woman. You don't know if a wife or a girlfriend, but the man alive are over there, and the Indonesian people them or Malaysia, one of them Asian country there.
Mm-hmm.
Basically just let him free.
Because I'm a white man. And as far as them know, you know, all of them know what is been happening to us, you know. But they don't have the guts to stand up for we. We're on our own. Anyway, back to the one I'm talking about. The second one now, him did actually carry out the killing. And the girl family actually report her missing. And, you know, she did tell somebody in the family where she will be going, and it tracked that she will be going to this white guy that she was dating. She missing, then searching her apartment, then search everything. And one of her friend come forward and said, like when I say, he have one place there and him did carry the friend and show where I do to the girl and city. But with all that, they couldn't find no trace. No trace or anything to pin him. Then come across some remains which shows of the girl. You know, like one hand or one foot or something.
Okay.
These men, they have the spirit of Cain. Cain was just one man. Imagine you put that same spirit on millions of them. They just have the spirit of Cain, which show you that Cain and Abel's story was really the same story we are actually living out. Right? So, when you read them documents and you see them, you know, then just like searching for something. It's poor people you're dealing with. What you think they want? They just want to be not hungry when they go to bed at night time. Enough time they're hungry going to bed. And sometimes I buy choice because them just feel say, boy, I can't bother get up and go find no food and I go sleep. Sometimes they have nothing. So they're asking trying to negotiate with the what we call industrialists for more wages. You know what the industrialists then do after this period? Take time and shift manufacturing into China. Ship it into Asia. The Chinese didn't do everything that you see them, this boom, what you see. They didn't do it all on their own. The West helped them. One, the West gave them the market, and the West shift production to their country. They invited the West, you know, and say, hey, we have a disciplined workforce, trainable. And the West run go, yeah, then disciplined enough, you know, thief, then, well, maybe they steal anything then. But if he's a China, they don't commit crime. But production costs. I mean, a cell phone we use over here, you know. Remember, you read about production costs in China where they tell us, say, these cell phone companies get the cell phone them from China for about $10, you know. You ever hear that before?
I never hear the figure, but I know them get them from China.
Yeah. There were some videos out. They might show you the cost of production from China. China make them and sell them cheap. Approximately $10 a one.
Okay.
And you pay $100 or less. Which is why a lot of the phone companies can say, all right, we're not selling you the phone. You're putting on a service. It's a service you buy and you're getting the phone. So the phone, you know, buy the phone expensive. You pay maybe $50, $40. And then them know if you lock it to their network and all that. You understand?
Okay.
Economic warfare again. But who was helping them? The same Western people them. So, that being said, why couldn't they look at the plight of our brothers and sisters back this time and say, all right, we'll see what we can do? No, you unleash the FBI on them as if they were some runaway slaves. Anyway, read on.
Okay. The effort to finance the WSP SCLC plans to seek financial contributions from Negro churches, establishing the thought of an alliance with the Nation of Islam, which is opposed to the Christianity may well discourage a favorable reaction on the part of some Negro churches.
All right. So Muslim and the Christian don't really get along. But their situation was so bad that they were thinking of maybe we have to collaborate with them to solve the slum problem that we have. Read on.
It is felt King's reaction to the proposed technique would be positive for counterintelligence purpose. King considered himself a devotee of the non-violent philosophies of the late Mahatma Gandhi. To publicly align him and our SLC with the Nation of Islam should trouble him on this basis. It is further conceivable that Mohammed may see fit to respond to this publicly, which should embarrass King further. Redacted.
So I'll show you where the government, because the FBI was working for the government. Whose side were they on? They weren't on the side of the poor people. That's the Bible tells us the poor. One of them scripture in a Psalms. How we go? Something like the poor have no friends. That's Psalm I mean. I think a proverb between. Let's see if we can find it. You're not seeing it. You're not finding it.
This says, the poor is hating even of his own neighbor. So let me read
That
it.
one there. That one.
This is Proverbs 14. We start at You want to start at 31 we say, he that oppressed the poor reproaches his maker.
31 to what?
verse 20. Alright, hold on, we have to start further up. Alright, the poor is hated of his yeah, we probably could have started at verse 20 to 31. 31, yeah. Proverb 40.
That's a 20.
Okay.
The poor is hated even of his own neighbor, which has many friends. I mean, everything in the scripture does go against the oppressor. But you know, the scripture tell you that the only way I'm going to learn is to make him be oppressed. And then you're talking and then laugh to themselves and say, well, good luck with that. Well, nobody never dreamed say the American army did have a limit. See, Iran exposed the limit. That's for sure that is the most behind all this, Iran. Because if they don't reach a stage, a nuclear weapon now going to get drawn to the forefront, And since this week, that finished, that ended, they have started, if not completed, what's the proper word now? Revamping or revising of their war strategy so as to use tactical nukes earlier in our war. Oh, it's just tactical. I mean, a nuclear. It's just a nuclear. That's what I tell people when people are talking about, you know, about a war about a nuclear. Hello. You see a lot of the weapons that were in America's arsenal. People they look on them and say, them they are sitting when I use again, man. I remember them in draw for some whole time bomb and give Ukraine. And all of them use off, finish them off. Well, nuclear weapon are going to use too. You have them from the 60s and things. All of them weapons are going to eventually use.
So, okay, if I may, the white phosphorus them they ban.
All right.
Phosphorus and see it I use it.
And the, what you call the other one, the one where scatter. They go up and then they bust all in a 70 or 80 other bomblets. Cluster bomb. Cluster bomb ban too. Yeah. And the white phosphorus, the one who pull the oxygen from here. I the white phosphorus.
No, the white phosphorus are the one where rain down some little sparks, where just burn up everything.
Oh yeah, we burn everything in our part.
Yeah.
And then you have the one now where when it explodes, it pull the oxygen from around anything within that range. So even if the bomb no drop on you, you can be suffocated. Because the sound of the explosion will get your heart, or increase your heart rate, because you're frightened. So think of you being frightened and your lungs now are got natural, your body natural reaction now, you start breathe faster. But you ain't getting no oxygen. is only a killer can think like that and make a weapon. And make a weapon something for something like that, you know. Or even like the switchblade drone where them build for assassination, you know. And some terrible people we are dealing with, man. But you know what's a good thing? We curse Donald Trump, you know, but Donald Trump has taken off the gloves and let the world see this is the most I expose the skirt of Babylon. So we're going to read this and then we're going to try to find out one day where him say more expose him, lift him skirt. Alright, so the poor is hated by even his neighbor, but the rich had many friends. Continue.
John, verse 21. He that despiseth his neighbor sinneth, but he that has mercy on the poor, happy is he. Verse 22.
The one that the one that despise the poor, despise his neighbor's sin, but he that hath mercy on the poor, happy is he. I mean, damn. The Zionist regime need them scriptures. Because them claims of them are the people of the land and then living by the laws of the Jew, even though there's a Jewish. Well, they need to read these things. Read on.
Verse 22. Do they not err that devise evil? But mercy and truth shall be to them that devise good.
All right. So you make evil device, you are making a mistake. So it's just a matter of time before you get exposed. Read on.
Down, verse 23. In our labor there is profit, but the talk of the lips tendeth only to penury or penury.
All right. See what is penury? All labor there is profit. Yeah, you're working towards something. Something will come out of it. Maybe not exactly what you were expecting, but there's a profit.
Like penury is the state of being very poor.
The talk of the lips tendeth only to
Penury.
And penury is what?
The state of being very poor, extreme poverty.
Meaning, talk and don't work. That is what is going to lead you to extreme poverty. You have to put in the work. And that was one of the things where the Christians disable amongst our people, you know. Disable the action towards, yeah, you go work and work for the oppressor, but well, I don't know if I say, yeah, Christianity, because these men in the FBI at the time, they were Christians, you know. That's why they did not have any qualms in doing the things that they were doing. Talking about the FBI director, his name again. Edgar Hoover. And all those who were working with him. They were all Christians. They didn't have any problem in disabling the black community. Because as far as I'm concerned, I'm in the church and I go to church and so what I'm doing is not wrong because I'm a Christian. Yeah.
I feel like if I may, it show that white people Christianity different from black people Christianity.
Yeah, even though the whole of them are Protestant.
Oh God.
But and black people can't see that. They don't see that. The mic sound low again, you know.
Mic check, mic check. You hear me?
Hey, I hear it just sound a bit low. Oh, well, I want to hope that your volume in the recorded part there is
Mic
better.
check, mic check.
I hear you, man. Well, don't go too far away from the mic. Alright. Read on, because I want to touch some more script before I close out.
Come.
24.
Verse 25. A true
24.
witness.
24.
Come. Verse 24. The crown of the wise is their riches, but the foolishness of fools is folly.
Come on, the person, should the person reaching and name wise. You see how soon see how wise it be, because
Mic check.
they're that loud. So there's a lot of folly coming from them. Especially the leader, what them put in there. Go on.
Come. Verse 25.
Much better.
A true witness delivereth souls, but a deceitful witness speaketh lies.
Right, back at the oppressor again. Go on again.
Come. Verse 26. In the fear of the Lord is strong confidence, and his children shall have a place of refuge.
Fear of the Lord, strong confidence. This is the wise. Alright. My case reports. It's 31. Drop down to 31.
Come. Verse 31. He that oppresseth the poor reproacheth his maker, but he that honoreth him has mercy on the poor.
Right. So he that honoreth the Most High. So meaning God. If you really is a God-fearing person, you are going to have mercy on the poor. That's basically what I'm telling you.
Salakia, sir. I did have that one in Proverbs 19 and 4. You hear me?
Let me find it.
Come.
Alright, go on.
Come. It says, wealth maketh many friends, but the poor is separated from his neighbor.
I mean, maybe that's why I'm treating Caribbean so, because it's poor people them man. But you know, for them people, you know, just what is happening, because in America now, a lot of racism really pushed from southern governance now. The structured racism, or systematic racism, pushed from the southern governance. Why? Because their slaves were taken away from them in the time of the Civil War. I tell you, these are set up, you're dealing with a set of people who believe that nobody is supposed to take nothing from them, you know. Slaves were taken away from them and set free by the North. And they have been carrying a grudge from that day till now. This is why them still lynching them, just because, what? You the black, no, you're not supposed to rise above me, no way, at no time. That's what it's all about. What it's all about, boy. Alright, give me.
Salakia, I did have the scripture where that's about lifting up the skirt.
Alright, don't want to close out with that. Give me thing there before we touch that. I did have Proverbs 12 and 17. We didn't read that one there. Proverbs 12 and 17. 17 to 22.
Yeah, sir. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 12 and verse 17. He that speaketh truth showeth forth righteousness, but a false witness deceit.
Yeah. And trust me, the Iranian then learn the deceit of the oppressor. One thing you can repeat. One thing you can credit them for, they are a fast learner. Yeah, man, they're not slow like we, because I know what people don't learn. So fast them learn. Right now, when Trump keep talking about come to the negotiating table, I said, see, them ask him like, come they can do what? We were there and you bomb away. What do we come there now? Come do. You do something first before we come there. 18.
Verse 18. There is that speaketh like the piercing of a sword, but the tongue of the wise is health.
Right. So the tongue of the wise speak life. Alright, I'm going to drop down to 21. And then 22.
Verse 21. There shall no evil happen to the just, but the wicked shall be filled with mischief.
Isn't that what we see happening to our oppressor now? Because, yeah, it's mischief. How can you be spending so much and in a position I know where I'm sure they're asking this question now within the army, right? But persons who have been who was in the army tell you everything in the army is outsourced. Who is supplying it, They were army people themselves, so it's not like they outsource things to another country. But it's the same military industrial complex where one of the UK presidents in America did warn about. And it is as everything that is supplied to the army is done by a private contractor rather than the army doing it themselves. The making of equipment, the making of bullets, the repair of equipment, food, the army. So in other words, all these companies surround the US military is making money from supplying things to the US military. That is why they spend so much money. The whole of money they spend now nothing much to do with the whole of ammunition and things. You understand?
Okay.
That's the reality. So 21 just say what? The wicked shall be filled with mischief. Yeah, man. That is what we say happen to them too.
Verse 22. Lying lips are abomination to the Lord, but they that deal truly are his delight.
Right. Yeah, man. So that's how we know that we in the truth here, I'll be the delight of the Lord. And dealing as truly as we can as humanly possible. All right. We finish the page that we were on. Page 21.
Yeah, come.
I finish it?
Yeah.
No, we're not finishing. This part says a disruptive tactic. It would appear that the Bureau might desire to contact.
We never reach us yet.
Then that's 21.
The one with the redacted at the bottom, we finished that one there.
Yeah, we finished that one there. Alright, this looks like a new page. This one I deal with. Yeah, it's a new case this. Alright, we'll finish the scripture. We have some scripture to drop before we close out. So I'll remove this. And then the scriptures. Let's see the next scripture we have in mind. Isaiah 13, 17 to 20.
Come. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 13 verse 17.
I'll put it.
Salakia, you break up, sir.
He says we can put it on the screen or you want me to put it on the screen.
Come. We can put it on the screen. Salakia. Come. It says, Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it.
Right. With that scripture, go on, continue.
Come, verse 18. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eye shall not spare children.
Right. You know, from the American military reach, the height where it reach, they have never gotten a more formidable or a more worthy opponent as we then get with Iran here.
Come.
They've never gotten anybody who stand up to them like this. Never. Vietnam War. Vietnamese, they won. Then with them every battle, every clash with them coming with the Viet Cong them win. But how they were defeated was that the Vietnamese them just keep coming. Even though they were going to die, they just keep coming. And they were right there. So in other words, the Vietnam, you see how Iran drop up some lick on them all points, kill a lot of people and things. The Vietnamese them probably never kill so much. Mash up a lot of equipment and things. But they lost the Vietnam War. Vietnam couldn't stand up against them. Vietnam never have the machine where Iran have. And it was the Iranians who made their machine, their weapons.
Come.
Yeah. Because of what the most I say, I'm going to stir up the meat against them. And say about some 47 years, the Iranian a plan for the bit.
Come.
Yeah, man. About some 47 years. All right, read on.
Come. Verse 19. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees, excellency, shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah.
When the Most High overthrow Sodom and Gomorrah, nothing did leave.
Come,
Nothing
come.
leave. So that's the same plan him have for Babylon. So, you know, that war, these wars are going to find its way to the American shore. And can't talk about nuclear weapon, all them want. The wars are going to find its way to the American shore. Who to tell if they are the Iranian missile them now, they're now gaining more and more what they call it, range.
Come.
Yes. All right. I'll show you why I believe that their missile could be gaining more range. The Americans help the Ukrainians to be able to stay in Ukraine and fire missile or whatever and hit Russia. They couldn't do that when the war started. You know.
Come, come.
They couldn't stay in Ukraine and fire nothing in Russia. Then they can do it. And Putin said to them, say, him knows that them, you know, NATO, you all do it. And you all gonna pay. So one of the ways you can make him pay, just give the Iranians the range for the missile. Show them how to improve the range of their missiles. Because already they cannot be shot down. These missiles coming in so fast. That's why the Patriot, America run out of Patriot missiles. You know. The missiles coming so fast, all 5 missiles go up to try and stop it. And still a miss. So who tell them that they might not get range? By the time America will improve them build more missile and come back. Iran might just get some range from the missile and can stay right there in Iran and lick him right there in America.
Come,
Lick
come.
Babylon right there. Yeah. Who to tell? Because right now, the only thing America left in America do now, one of two things. Either sending the ground troop, which kind of suicide, but they might want to do it. You never know. Or they use nukes. But in any case, probably it is now safe to say that you are in World War III. You're approaching the third war. You are in the third war. You're just waiting on that moment which the war is going to be so great that it really shake the kingdoms of the earth. Yeah, man. Babylon is the glory of kingdoms. Why? Everybody sell to Babylon. Everybody export the goods there towards them. Sell them goods. Yep. Read on.
Come, come. Verse 20. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabians pitch their tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there.
Alright. Tell us just the end of Babylon when the Most High already put an end to it. That's how I'm going to free people. Praise.
Verse 20. Yeah, can one can. You don't want 21?
Alright, let me see where we did plan to stop. 22. Going to 23.
Can. Verse 21. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there.
Right. So it just means that just like how today you see them going through the jungle and then come up on the ruins of an ancient city. And them see the buildings, but nobody not living it. Babylon is going to be the same. 22.
Verse 22. And the wild beasts of the highlands shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged.
Yeah, but because you see this was written so far, them believe that the Bible is just a storybook. But here you're seeing the things are being fulfilled.
Okay.
Somebody, what the person name? Akata Ninja. Judah reigned 444. This man said 144 years. I mean 144,000 years. That's a short time, my brother. Them think there will be will be more than that. Hey, when the Most High said give them double now, I will say 400 years. The 400 years where we talk about, we say that double is just the punishment from the slave trade up to now, When you add, when you add the 70 AD time they were then carried back in a Rome, I mean, overall probably about 800 years. When you add the time of the Grecians in it, right? So it's our oppression for more than approximately 1,000 years. I think them can take 2,000 years of straight oppression. Never. Never ever. Alright. I think we can close out with Revelation. You know, say you have one scripture. You did read it already?
La, sir, is Nahum. We say, behold, I am against thee. Slakia, it said, behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord. Nahum chapter 3 and verse 5.
Nahum. Oh, you put up here.
Okay. It says, behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will shew the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame.
It's also in what? Revelation, I think. Nahum 1, 3 and 5, is it?
Yeah, can.
Read it again.
Can. This is the book of Nahum chapter 3 and verse 5. Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will shew the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame.
Hold on. This part I will say, I will, what? Show the skirt?
I will discover thy skirt upon thy face. Okay.
You know how deep that is?
Okay.
I will discover thy skirt upon
thy face.
Upon thy face. How you think that going to happen? You ever on the road in a windy day and see a woman in a loose skirt?
Okay.
And what happened to her?
skirt blow over her head, reveal all her underwear.
Yeah, so this is what the most I talking about. Yeah, man. But put his skirt over my head and make everything with the under skirt exposed. And this is what is happening. A lot of it been happening under Trump, you know. Because I am sure if I can stay in Jamaica here and say, so what them doing with them trillion, almost $1 trillion them spend on the military every year? They're not supposed to run out of ammunition. If you're spending so much money, I'm sure that question is being asked in America too. I have no contact with any body in the army or the government, none whatsoever. So if I can see here and see that, you know, believe that inside there they're asking. Yeah, man. Big questions are asked. A lot of heads are going to roll too. Alright, we finished with Nahum, right?
Gone.
Alright, so Revelation 22:12. And we can close out with that.
Gone. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 22 and verse 12. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according as his work shall be.
Yes. You know why me like this, why I love this verse here so much? I like this verse here so much because, you know, when they talk to a Christian, them, you get the impression like it's not the work that you're doing is going to cause you to be saved or to be on God's side. It's just your belief. Belief is where it starts, yes? Because if you don't believe it, you're not going. But works. You got to do something. You got to do some work. Got to put in the work, people. So with that, we ask that you know, call the school. Come in, do your 90 days, help raise up brothers too. Many of you are convicted this way, but whatever is holding you back, call the school, help raise up brothers. In the meantime, like, subscribe, and like we say, unsubscribe and resubscribe from the thing there. Yeah, them say they having that notification coming. Having trouble streaming from Facebook. It's a from Facebook then.
Yeah, I think we get a notification from the Facebook that said we remove your video. I don't know why them do that.
Oh, because we say the white man, the oppressor.
Not sure.
Oh, then when we talk to them, run out of ammunition. Yeah, but they run out of ammunition, right? Remove it all on the one. Removing our video won't give you no ammunition. How it don't give you ammunition? Can't give you no ammunition. You're spending so much money and still run out of ammunition. You need to do some internal introspection. Obviously, some other people inside they need to go to prison for fraud. At them to block off. Alright, so with that we pass the class over to Priest and Officer Kayadwan. Remember we asked, you know, unsubscribe and resubscribe. You just click unsubscribe and just resubscribe at the same time. You know, it's like you're renewing your subscription. help the algorithm to push the videos. All right.
Okay.
And so with that, we pass the class to priest and officer.
And with that, we're going to head to the security announcements. Wrap it up. These are the ISUPK security announcements, where the ISUPK started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. So, after 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithe, which is a commandment, you can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18 and verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 to 10. It means 10 in the Hebrew and it's pronounced Ma'aishaya. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund free will offering for priests, not mandatory whatsoever amount you'd like. Alright, so remember to go over to ISUPK.com. You know what I mean? Support the truth. You understand? Pay your tithes. You understand that is also a part of the law. See? Upcoming Holy Convocation, we have the memorial of the blowing of the trumpet. This is the first day of the 7th month, which is Friday, September 11th. You can find this in the book of Leviticus chapter 23, verse 24 to 25. Reminding Akiam and Akwatiam to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he should start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. And with that, we say, Madam, which is done. We're going to give one courtesy to salute.
Hold on.
Okay.
You don't know, are the small lads them, man? Are them control Facebook, you know?
Salakia, what go on?
No, with the video removal.
Okay, go on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, we're going to give one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, I'm Madium Shabbat. I'm Madium. The Rap. Yahweh Basham Yahweh Brakatah. Yaranatah. Class dismissed.
All right.
Salaki, you say something?
No, you say you can just take out the class. Take it out.
Okay. Alright, with that, everybody watching, remember to like, follow, share, subscribe. You know what I mean? Leave questions you have in the chat. And also, remember, unsubscribe and then subscribe again, because it seems like, you know what I mean, YouTube now send out the notification. And remember to click the notification bell. You understand? Subscribe to Commanding General YAHANNA page, the real Commanding General YAHANNA. He have a show every Monday called the Black Watch. You know what I mean? You don't want to miss that. Also subscribe to ISUPK online classes. You know what I mean? ISUPK Durham, North Carolina. And also just subscribe to every ISUPK page. And with that, Shalom.